Yo, I'll be taking us through the craft design rules. What are the craft design rules actually? Contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. Yeah, your design might actually be looking awful. You could be missing out, or you're actually missing out in these four principles. There are quite a number of principles of designs, but if you're able to master these four, yeah, the design should be able to elevate from the newbie to, should I say, the pro level to a point. Yeah, so I'll be demonstrating this in Adobe Photoshop by designing a flyer from scratch to end. I'm going to be working on a brief, so join me. So welcome to the world of Photoshop, and here's a brief. Understand how branding can shape the future of your business, and visual direction is a silhouette of a professional against a glowing backdrop, symbolizing transformation through brand clarity. Then the headline should be discover the true power of branding. Then subtext, strong brands don't compete, they lead. So I'm going to actually use the mindset designs as should I say, let me use that as the key brand to work with. So I'm using the logo and the brand and color palette basically. So let's bring in the brand assets. Logo. So this is the logo we're using. And the color we'll be using, sampling it from the logo itself. So we're looking at the application of the four principles, that's contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. So first is contrast. How do we tend to apply contrast? So let's start with creating another artboard here. So I'm doing this on Photoshop 2025. And from the brief, he said we should use the silhouette of a professional against a glowing backdrop. Who should this professional be? The Mindset Design is actually a design agency, so we are looking at a professional. Could use like a graphic artist, a social media specialist. So in this case, let's use a graphic artist, possibly someone with holding a laptop, silhouette of a man holding a laptop. So we're going to use check on free pick. I'm sourcing my images from free pick. Sweet, I think I've gotten one. So this is the image I'm actually working with. I love this image. We go around and rasterize layer, I want to remove the background, so let's select subject in this case. Mm, um, we can actually remove the background from Flippy. I think that will save us more time. Let me remove the background and download as PNG very fast. So I was able to download image as PNG on FreePic. So now we want to, let's start with contrast. Contrast has to do with drawing attention to a specific element or item or information or your design in the design aspects. It's actually drawing attention to a certain things and a certain thing. So we are working with this color, we're working with this image and the text as well. Discover the power of branding. I think I want to make emphasis on the word branding. So I will want to apply my contrast. Let that contrast come from the text. So I will be doing this based in the use of color and size as well being applied. We could do something minimal since the image is a silhouette. Could make the background white, but it might look regular. You go online, you see this image of a person, but I want to play with this. Like I actually want to use a black background against a black silhouette. Let's do that. So let's put this here and add a solid color. Black. We can't find our image again. So how do we separate this image from the background? We use our color. So this is one trick. We pick our brush tool, create a layer, then pick this color, the blue, increase it and this. Oh, I think we should use the soft brush. I want something subtle and cool, calm. That's the feel I'm actually looking at. Then we increase this. So we duplicate this, turn this to white. This is trick we could apply as well, or let's brighten it up with the curve. Okay, so we can group this as light cheap in background. So you can see this light is, there's a light actually hitting on the side of the glass. I think it should be more of the blue. So we could place another layer and draw this light ray. Let's max it to body, change the blend mode to screen. Don't you think a light ray should actually shine from the laptop? I think that should work as well. So let's look at drawing. Let's draw this. Let's change to 19. Then blur, Gaussian blur. It's okay, not too much. Then let's put motion blur, so it's actually hitting his face. I think to increase it. You can create a max now and clean it up. Okay. So basically, light doesn't just have same intensity, it actually fades out. So we'll use our gradient tool and fade it out from here. Good. Change it to a bit white. We'll fix here. Let's paint over here so it doesn't look fake. So from here to this place. If you have any question, you can drop in the comment section. I will take out time to respond to it. Beautiful. So we're almost there. So let's put our text. We're not yet done with the image. Let's leave the image there. Image 1. I think we should adjust this lighting. So the key, like I said earlier, I want to make emphasis on the word branding. So branding. I'm using the font Montserrat. Selecting all and reducing the spacing in between each text. So let's increase so I think this should be behind the text. Branding. Now we've drawn out contrast on this using a white text on black. That's a simple way of actually putting out contrast. Now let's go to repetition. I want to do okay. If for instance we make all these caps lock, let's use caps lock in that stead. I duplicate it and want to actually make it on multiple faces. I drop down the opacity. I will also change the blend mode to like overlay and increase the opacity so it's still visible to a point. Good. Beautiful. Then we add a mark. Beautiful. So now let's duplicate this and put this cover. The power. So I would love to reduce the line spacing. Discover the power. Good. So I'm sure you can see the way we're applying my text contrast when I left the main essence to be on branding. But now there's some, let's say, conflict here discovered. So I was looking at making more emphasis on power and branding. So we could actually tone down the white of this cover, like use something gray, something like this. We could even take it down. The power. So we should do something like this cover. Okay. So now again, applying repetition, we are using the same color for this cover. We are still applying it to where off. So you say subtext is what strong brands don't compete. They lead. Another idea that actually came to me, since they said discover the power, what does power has to do? Authority. Now our third saying strong brands don't compete, they lead. So we could come up with another concept. So this is the first idea that will come. The basic thing with design is once you start with your concept, other ideas start coming up. I have another idea that's in my head, and that will be let's put this on the top. But this is more like a quote. Discover the power of branding. So I was looking at making more power. When we talk about power, sometimes we refer to electricity. So I am looking at making the O like should pop out like an electric surge. So let's give space. No. Power. Good. So let's duplicate letter O. Beautiful. So I want it to be like a power surge, like, let's say a portal. Perfect. That is the word, like a portal. So now we use, let's maybe add some glow effect to it. So this is even the color. It's blue, light blue. So let's increase opacity, then the size, not too much. I think the blue is a bit too much. You can drag it to this point, something like this. So it looks like a power switch. Oh, let's find out how does a power switch looks like. Okay. So let's drop it into. Still need some space in between our P and our W. Beautiful. So good. Let's create a max. We're trying to draw out the power sign. So let's use our rectangle shape and draw. So we still apply same effect to the rectangle. Let's align our text so no information is left out. So now we've applied contrast and repetition. Now alignment has to do with making sure all your elements are properly will I say from the eyes, is to judge that okay, everything looks neat, clean, smooth. That's why I enabled from here, I enabled snap. Also yes, snap to guides, layers and artboard. So the essence is Photoshop has this automated feature where while you are moving your elements across the artboard, they are being aligned properly. You can see this guide, the purple line or pink line that shows. So it helps you properly place your elements, and you find out that you can use your ruler to check that the elements are proper. So our power and our B is not properly aligned. So we could move it together. Just small. Beautiful. Everything is aligned. You can take out your light. Then we adjust our off. Oops, sorry. Let's go to the off. Discover the power of branding. This cover, I think we should make it a bit smaller to align with E. So can you see it? Then let's place our logo now. So our logo has black. We change the text to white. Right. Control D. Now proximity. Now if you notice, we didn't just guide the logo and place it on the text. No, it doesn't look balanced. So the essence of design as well is also to take note and ensure balance is created. Do you get? So we could do this very simple trick. You get this is going to just make things easy. It looks like you're teaching a kindergarten, but I think the easier something is explained, the better one gets to understand it. So you could use this draw a rectangle. You want to gauge the size between here and here. So let's use red. So now you can draw your guide aligned. Now you take that rectangle and move it to this other edge. Beautiful. Let's see, it's aligned. Oops, we still have our G outside. So what do? Let's select everything. Let's group them and move it to align. Beautiful. So there are quite a number of templates you could use online that will help you guide your work. I will actually make a tutorial separately for that, how to properly set up your guides. This is actually like a quick way to design. So let's move it to align here. Beautiful. And now in some cases you set up your guide. It's just that I'm used to the guides already, so I want to move this to the spot. Then draw our guide again. Now, beautiful. So we can delete our or hide our rectangle that helped us. So we find that everything is now concise in this box. That's the essence. Make everything balanced. Then we could add the website. Yes, the mindset designs.bzy.io. Beautiful. Then we add a drop shadow, so it separates it from the background and from the hand. Good. So this is beautiful. So now we could do other concepts. Let's say this is concept 1, C1. Now we want to something to depict bleeding. Let's use the chest. We'll say a king pawn. Okay, I've seen an image. Background. I really love the remove background feature on Free Pick. So let's duplicate this artboard. Our image, let's hide it. Let's bring in our okay. Oh, it's dragged into the folder that was hidden. Good. So this is it. Let's rasterize. So I've removed the background already, so I'm bringing it up again so it matches the image. Rasterize. So while looking at this, we're still going to use our lights, so we're taking this to the background first. Then beautiful. Okay. take something like this. Then let's add a layer mask to the background. Then pick our gradient tool. Should reduce this light. Good. I think this works, so it still gives contrast to what we are doing. So now we can put like a black overlay here. Our light could still come in to work, do a little work for us. Let's take it down. Beautiful. Simple. So we've actually been able to portray the message. Also, apply contrast, the repetition. Now you saw how I used the text, the branding text here continuously. Now repetition can also be in color. If you are using blue on your text, you could still use it on another text that you find out that it brings that balance there. Then we looked at alignment. We learned how to draw out our guides and ensure all our information are concise inside this box and field. And then proximity, how close and how far these elements are to each other. In a way they are not conflicting. You can find out how close and this subtitle and the website is. They are not too close and they are not too far. And this is done by the help of our guide that we're able to draw out. If you have any question, you could drop it in the comment section and I will answer you in no time, and we'll actually drop suggestion of what you want us to cover in the course of our videos. Yeah, thank you. Take care.